This sound effect has become very popular in our Nollywood epic fantasy movies, and I'm watching Lisabi Part 2 now, and I just thought, perhaps it would be a fun challenge, to try and figure out how they came up with this sound effect. And so after like 15 minutes of me thinking about in Premiere Pro, yes, what I came up with. So here we are in Premiere Pro. I chose Premiere Pro because a ton of you still use it. So listen to it over and over and over and over again. 4 things are standing out to me. Disclaimer, I'm not a full sound designer. I've only been editing for like 10 years, and so I sabi small. First is that there seems to be a chorus in his voice. It's one person talking, but it kind of sounds like it's multiple people talking. The second thing is that this second voice seems to be at a lower pitch. So if this is my normal pitch, the second voice seems to be blah, 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 blah. The third thing that stands out is that there's also the lower frequencies. It sounds a bit muffled, and so the lower, you can hear it at the end. Pay attention. That ilelo. The low frequencies seem to be really high compared to the higher frequencies. And then the fourth thing is that there seems to be some sort of an echo. So it's kind of like an echo, but I think it's more of a reverb that kind of sounds like we're in a very large hall, even though it's counterintuitive because they're outside, but it sounds like they're in a really large hall. So armed with these 4 things, I began to experiment with the different tools that Premiere Pro has to offer, and I came up with something pretty similar, which is what I'm going to be showing you now. If you like this content, please take a moment to subscribe and drop a comment. Thank you. Again, this is the clip that we're trying to emulate. And then I took this from the same scene. So we're going to try and make the image sound like Deyemi. I actually ended up duplicating the voice 3 times, and each of them has different effects, and some of them are lower than the others. Now this first one, this is the main meat of it all. I'm just going to come to the effect controls. I applied a Parametric EQ and a Studio Reverb. So I'll just open this up now, and you see what I did. I simply took the lower frequencies up. So by default, this is how your Parametric EQ should be looking. This is like, it should be straight. This L actually should be around here, and this H is around here. All right, so I simply just took this H, pulled down on the higher frequencies, and then took the lower frequencies and boosted those up aggressively. Let me break it down. So I'm just going to mute these ones. Actually, I can just solo it. I'm just going to solo that, and I'm going to turn off the reverb, and now I'm going to turn on and off what the EQ is doing. So this is without the EQ. This is exactly how it sounds normally. All right, and now I'm going to turn it on. See the difference? Now still on this first voice, I now applied a Studio Reverb. Now you don't need to do any serious thing inside the Studio Reverb. Once you open it up, by the way, for those of you who don't know where these things are, just go to effects and type them out and search them. Like for example, Studio, there you go, and just click and drag it onto your clip. All right, so by the time you put Studio Reverb, I don't know, it will start as default. Just come down to Great Hall. Remember I said that it sounded like it was in a hall. Yeah, so this one worked. I actually tried the convolution reverb at some point, but I couldn't find a good preset that was working, and then I came across Great Hall, which works perfectly well. So now let's listen to that with the Studio Reverb. See that? I'm going to turn it off. This is without the reverb, and this is with the reverb. And that takes care of the first voice layer. Now the second voice layer, remember, just duplicate it. For those of you that don't know how to duplicate, you can literally just click it, hold Alt or Option if you're using a Mac, hold it down, and then just click and drag, and then let go of your mouse, not the Alt or Option. Let go of your mouse, and that's it. You've just duplicated the file. All right, just make sure you duplicate it before you apply those effects. Now on the second duplicated layer, you might want to reduce the volume a bit. You can see this was at 0 dB. I reduced it to about -9. Same thing with this one. This one is also around, this one is around -7. So play around with it. You don't have to use these exact numbers, but each scene will be different. Your own situation will be different. Now on this second voice, remember I said it sounded like more than one people were speaking, like it was a chorus. So I applied a chorus / flanger, and same thing, just come into the presets and there's something called smooth chorus. Just apply that. All right, you don't need to add any. I mean, you can always increase the intensity if you feel like it's not enough, or you can reduce the intensity if you feel like it's too much. But for this scene, I found that the default 80 was more than fine. So I'm just going to play this now. So I'm going to turn off the, okay, sorry, let me turn this on. So I'm going to turn this off. Now listen to it without the chorus. All right, and now with the chorus, you can see it adds that doubling effect, like there are more than one people speaking. All right, and then the third layer, pitch shifter. There's literally a tool called pitch shifter. Open it up, and even though this one has presets, it turned out none of the presets really seemed to work the way I wanted it to. So at the end of the day, I just basically just took the semitones and brought it down by -2. So it will start out at 0. I just took it down to -2. So in your situation, you might need to take it more than that, or in your situation, you might just 0 might even be perfect, but I doubt 0 will be perfect. So in this case, just taking it down to -2 was fine. I did not touch any other thing. So I'll turn this off. This is without the pitch shifter. And this is with the pitch shifter. That's the bass I'm talking about. And so that's it. So this is our first layer. Add the second layer. And then the third layer. There we go. So we started from here. And now we have this. So this was our reference. This is what we had to work with. And this is what we came up with. So now if we put both of them side by side, let's see if we're close. I mean, I tried. I mean, yeah, I tried. I like to think I tried. This is another scene. That's cool. This is what the scene actually sounded like. And with our new method that I've shown you now, you're welcome. You're literally welcome. If there's any other thing that you've noticed in Nollywood movies that you would like me to try and figure out and maybe make a tutorial on it, that would be cool as well. I actually did a couple of looks and created it into a lot pack. You can check it out on my digital store. One of them is for free. That's the lot for Merriment Part 2. It's actually free. I think it's been downloaded. I'll check. I'll put the number. I think it's been downloaded over 1,000 times already. I mean, you can use that one, play around with it, and if you like it, then you can consider, supporting your boy. Like this video, share, and for more videos like this, consider subscribing.